Our hands perfectly evolved into highly dexterous tools we use to interact in everyday life, both for fine and gross motor skills. Like any movement from the human body, good function or strength can determine the level of physicality we deteriorate from as we age, therefore prolonging our ability to deal with daily life and delay frailty. In terms of grip strength, science has even shown it to be a determinant of frailty in the elderly population. This video focuses on ways to raise the strength in this important physical skill, in particular for stronger compound lifts. So why grip strength? For strength training enthusiasts, grip strength is sometimes the last remaining factor that either succeeds a personal best or fails literally by the fingertips. For the general population looking to improve their general fitness, training grip is a great addition to your gym prowess and a heap of challenging fun. Losing your grip is also a safety issue in lifting, as it adds more strain further up the arm, to the elbow, and in particular the wrist and the shoulder. Grip strength is also important in sports, which I will briefly cover. There generally is a lack of research to training grip and even less on these different types of strength training grips. But here are some good examples of training the common grips that we know in research, and that's commonly done in daily life as well as lifting. The pinch grip. This involves the finer dexterous grip of picking something up with your fingertip and thumbs. Although this and the crush grip are the most common grips we use every day, its strength is not as high as we think it is, as we simply just don't train it. The best way to train the pinch grip is to do plate holds. Pinch a plate and hold it for time in both hands, and you'll soon find out which hand is stronger. For an added challenge, do the farmer's walk exercise with a pinch grip. For even more fun, try a snatch pinch grip deadlift. Just be aware that taller limbed people have a distinct advantage if you go head to head with them. The crush grip. This grip is simply any form of a clenched fist. It taxes the flexors and extensors of the arm, which are broader and definitive muscles that allow our grosser wrist actions such as picking up heavy shopping bags, opening doors, gardening tools, and shaking hands. Despite this being our naturally strongest grip from developing it our whole lives in our daily motions, a strong crushing grip is often untrained, even in elite strength athletes. Sports often require an emphasis on grip strength. In martial arts, a strong crush grip is advantageous. Art forms such as jiu-jitsu require specific crush grips to grasp an opponent's body. In arm wrestling and gymnastics, a false grip, which is another form of crush grip, is often used. Failure in these grips can lose your performance drastically. So whether you are a gym enthusiast or particular sportsman, training crush grip does have an importance. The most brutal way to tax particularly your flexors to give you that Popeye grip strength is to crush grip any cylindrical weighted object with a wide diameter. The best example of training crush grip in a gym is to use fat grippers. If you don't have fat grips in your gym, using the end of a barbell and do single arm deadlifts loaded. From here, you can start to experiment with strength endurance by holding it for time and even wrist curls for added wrist flexion. Hook grip. This is the fingertip version of hook grip, not to be confused by the Olympic weightlifting hook grip. This grip is holding a load by the fingertips without the thumb. This targets the tendons of the fingertips and extensors. Training this grip is easily done in the gym by simply gripping a barbell only with your fingertips. It was known as the suicide grip in the strength training community simply because there is not much room for finger slippage and accidents happened. However, in sports such as rock climbing, it requires an extreme endurance and strength on fingertip hanging, which is the difference between life and death. The mixed grip. A traditional mixed grip is easy to set up for all lifting abilities and easily secures deadlift grip much better. Done with one arm being overhand and one arm underhand, its downfall is that it's been known to some lifters to overload one bicep tendon than the other. Personally, I notice the space between the ulnar of the underhand and leg is often closed in the conventional deadlift. This means I had to grip further away from my leg with the underhand. With the arms opposing each other as well, the weaker arm also begins to twist, which alters your mechanics of your entire body at maximal effort. In a sumo deadlift, a mixed grip is quite a hindrance, particularly with the underarm grinding against the thighs, particularly on lockout. However, it is the easiest grip to learn and still is the most common grip used in deadlifts at all levels. And finally, the weightlifting hook grip. This is the go-to grip for Olympic weightlifters and has been the attention as of late in the powerlifting community. You would do this grip if you struggle with a traditional mixed grip for the reasons I explained before. The hook grip requires you to hook your thumb around the barbell before doing a crush grip onto the thumb. The thumb acts as a double up lock to the crush grip. To maximize the reach of this grip, dig the L-shaped groove of your hand into the barbell as much as possible. We all know, like any strength skill, accumulating volume of work and intensity over time is key to building a solid foundation to maximal strength. I personally found from applying a hook grip to maximal strength on my deadlifts and heavy Olympic pulls was definitely a noticeable physical strain. Using hook grip regularly in a general preparatory phase best adapted myself to handle the high strain on higher weights. Hook gripping all the time may have its downfalls. In the early stages of adaptation, I've personally found reaching an overload training phase under high neural fatigue exacerbated the pain that can only be described as having your thumbs glued to a boiling kettle. But accumulating more volume with progressive loads, as mentioned before, cured this by numbing the pain. The other disadvantage, other than pain, are the calluses you build on your thumbs over time. You can overcome this with proper hand care, such as using a nail clipper to cut down the very bumpy calluses that might roll off during deadlifts, filing flat calluses with a pommel stone, and softening your hands a little with bathing salts and hand scrubs. However, you do not want your hands too soft because calluses may split easier and you go back to the early stages of painful adaptation to hook grip. Another way of training the hook grip is doing the snatch grip deadlift. This will train less of your overall maximal deadlift strength and more grip. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you found this more detailed video insightful.